everybody, and welcome back to the Great American Songbook Foundation, celebrating International Archives Day. For those of you who've been with us all day, thank you so much. For those just tuning in, welcome. This is our first kind of inaugural day to celebrate archives and what we have in our collection. Traditionally, International Archives Day has been a chance for archivists to exchange information about their collections with each other. We've decided to invite all of you in with us as well, so you can see what we do, how we do it, and why we're here and why we're so important. This presentation, I've decided to make it a little bit more fun today because I love a good prop and love a good display. So this is kind of how to use an archive and what do you do to get things ready to go to an archive. And along with that, how do you archive your own stuff? So we've got a variety of different things in here. The biggest question people ask is why? Why should I save my stuff? Why is it really important? Is it worth all the effort? My answer to that is yes. It's your stuff, it's your history, it's your items. They're important. And they're important not only to you, but potentially to future generations, outside your family even. So that's one of the main reasons to save things, is so that people do get to see glimpses into your life and things that were important to you as generations continue on. It's also important to save things nicely if you want to donate them to an archive like us. We like things to be in as pristine condition as they can be. If you haven't seen all the gross stuff at my table, it shows you what happens when an archive doesn't come into play or comes into play too late. You start to see things decaying, you start to see water damage, you start to see lots of bugs. And so for those reasons, it's super important to have the right tools at your disposal to do that. So let's look at some of those tools. One of the big things to look for if you are wanting to archive on your own or are wanting to donate to an archive is, are they using archivally safe materials? Generally, these are called archivally safe or acid-free. A lot of materials, especially paper like boxes, will off gases, and that will actually eat away at the paper and the other items in it. So you want something that is acid-free, so nothing's going to damage the beautiful items that you're preserving. And then you need to look at what items you have. And so different things can go into different containers. Paper tends to fit really well into beautiful acid-free folders. Different sizes, different varieties, generally a regular 8.5 by 12 up to legal size, but sometimes you even have to make your own custom sizes to keep things safe and secure with themselves, and that way they don't stick to anything else that you're trying to save. Some things, especially like photographs or things that are starting to flake and tear, fit really well into, this is called Mylar plastic. And it's beautiful now because they make it in sleeves. About 10 years ago they didn't, so you had to make your own sleeves, but I am all for nice, fast, and easy. And this will keep things from getting any worse. If you have seen our Gus Kahn napkin on display today, it is the only item out that is in plastic today. That's why. The scrapbook paper that it's on is actually flaking off, and we don't want to lose any of those little pieces or do any more harm or damage to it. So some things, however, these are new to me and I love them, can fit into envelopes. Sometimes it's easier, especially if you've got music at home, musical scores, arrangements. They can fit into these beautiful acid-free Tyvek envelopes. I promise this isn't a sales pitch to get you to buy all this stuff. It's just really helpful to know what you're looking for when you're trying to take care of all this stuff. And now my favorite part, the boxes. So, archival boxes come in a variety of different sizes. Again, they are all safe for the environment. They are safe for all the items you're putting in them. It depends on what you're trying to store. If you're storing a lot of file folders full of documents, boxes like this are perfect for that. You can fit them easily inside, and you can also see the top of all the folders, so you can easily find what you're looking for and store things that are likewise together. Flat items, always in flat boxes. You like to store them flat. We don't want to store anything upright because it can crush itself. Those go in here, and oh, look at that. There's archival stuff in this box that I totally didn't plan. So, items like this, these are our beautiful and amazing bone records. These are actually x-rays that were taken out of the trash outside hospitals in Soviet Russia and were actually recorded on. What's wonderful about them is you can see they're actually stored in the plastic. They are in a folder to keep them together, and they're in a box. So we have 3 different ways that we are preserving them. I have a sheet or note so I know what these are. But if I can get them up, you can see there are actually ribs on this. And there's music on this as well. Everything from the Andrews Sisters to early rock and roll. And this would have been the music that you weren't allowed to listen to and hear in this period of time during Russian rule. So those are just some of the boxes, and then as you grow your collection, you graduate to, as all of the archivists in the world know it, the page box. And these hold a variety of different three-dimensional items. They can hold hundreds of folders, a variety of different sized objects. They're really great. They're also a really nice size and come with really sturdy lids. So if you are looking at storing them, perhaps in a basement or somewhere like an attic where you really don't want them because there could be some environmental issues, these are the great boxes for that because they will protect everything inside up against anything that could do extra damage. Specialty items like LPs, vinyl records, and everything, you can find all sorts of fun sleeves available. Everything I'm showing you today you can find on official archival websites, but you can also find them on Amazon, which is really nice, especially if you need something quick and easy to start kind of housing your collection. The very last thing I want to talk about, because it has been a debate for almost the last 20-ish years in the archiving world, is gloves. Because I see a lot of people, and actually I don't want to blame people, every movie that has an archivist has them wearing white cotton gloves at some point during the film. These are great if stuff's really dirty. These are not great if you want to have any tactility with your hands. Surgical gloves will give you more of that tactile ability, which means you're not going to drop things, you're not going to tear things, you don't risk things getting stuck in the cotton fibers. But you'll notice here, I just held up bone records with my bare hands. I washed my hands right before this presentation, get the oils off the hands so then you can still hold them, and we try not to handle things too much. So that could also be very useful, especially if you're dealing with film or any type of reels or photos and photography. So those are just a couple of items to get you started on your archiving journey. And it's also what to look for when you are potentially donating a collection and want to know if the archive is up to snuff. If they have these items, then they're probably taking care of everything the way that they should be. So that is kind of how you use an archive and how you start your own. Thank you so much.